Namamsi. Whether you realize it or not, debating is a very important skill in life, and ancient Indians had studied this deeply and they had also mastered this skill. In my previous video, I had discussed the three types of debates, which are Vada, Jalpa and Vitanda. In Vada, the intention is not to win but to understand a subject properly or to understand the actual truth. In Jalpa, the objective is to win, and in Vitanda, the objective is to just disprove the other party. To know more about the types of debates, you can watch this video of mine. Now we shall see what our Shastras say about with whom you should get into Vada. With what kind of people it is a waste of time to get into Vada, with what kind of people you better do Jalpa, and with whom you should do Vitanda. First, let us see with whom you should do Vada, where the objective of debating is not to win but to get clarity on the subject and also to understand the reality. This is discussed in detail in Charaka Samhita, which is an Ayurvedic text. It is discussed in other Shastras also, especially in Nyaya Shastra, but I have taken the explanation from Charaka Samhita for this video. In general, debates and discussions are called Katha, but in Charaka Samhita it is called Sambhasha or Tadvidya Sambhasha. And as I had mentioned before, there are three types of debates, which are Vadaha, Jalpaha and Vitandaha. In Charaka Samhita, Vadaha is called Sandhaya Sambhasha. The Charaka Samhita clearly states with whom we have to get into Vada or Sandhaya Sambhasha. Charaka Samhita says, Tatra Jnana Vijnana Vachana Shakti Sampanna Akopana Anupaskrita Vidya Anasuyaka Anunaya Kovidena Kleshakshamena Priyasambhashanena cha saha Sandhaya Sambhasha Vidhiyate. Let us see what this means. Basically, here it is listing out all the characteristics of the person with whom you should get into Vada. That is, with people who have these characteristics, you should get into debate with the intention of learning more about a particular thing to get clarity on a subject rather than to win over in the debate. What are the characteristics of such people? Jnanavan, meaning one who has knowledge in that particular subject. Vijnanavan, meaning one who is endowed with intelligence. Also, one who has good clarity on what the Shastras are saying. Not just memorizing the Shastras or something in a subject, but also who knows with great clarity the meaning of that particular Shastra or any subject. Vachana Shakti Sampannaha, one who has good speaking abilities, that is good communication skill. Prativachana Shakti Sampannaha, one who can answer back when a question is posed. Why they are mentioning this is, some people are very good speakers when they can prepare for a lecture and present it. But when someone asks a question, they might feel stuck or scared or confused in giving back the answer, which will be logical and convincing to the person who posed the question. So this ability to answer back properly is also to be considered. Akopanaha means one who does not get angry. There will be some people who will be very good at their subject, but they will be short-tempered. Even when someone asks a question genuinely, they will get angry. It is not advisable to have Vada with such a person who has a bad temper. Anupaskrita Vidyaha is one who has no doubt or confusion in his subject. Anasuyakaha is one who is not jealous. Only people who do not have jealousy will be able to freely share their knowledge with others, especially with those who are in the same field. Anunaya Kovidaha is one who speaks according to the level or capability of the questioner. Sometimes people who are extremely knowledgeable will not be able to come down to the level of people who are not as knowledgeable as them but who wish to learn from them. This is a common problem with many scholars. They are extremely knowledgeable but they are not able to step down a bit and simplify in order to make others who are not as knowledgeable as them to understand. Vada needs to be done with a person who can come down to the level of the questioner and speak. One such scholar that I have seen is Vidwan Dr. H.V. Nagaraj Rao Mahodaya. He is extremely knowledgeable. In fact, he is a Vidwan in 2 Shastras and he has also studied in modern universities. Yet he adjusts his flow of knowledge to suit his audience. I have done a podcast with him. Do check it out. In fact, all the qualities that are mentioned in this list are there in him. Kleshakshamaha, meaning one who is capable of forgiving harsh or rude words that might be uttered during debates. And Priya Sambhashanaha, one who speaks lovingly, not rudely. With people who have most of these characteristics, we must get into Vada or Sandhaya Sambhasha. That is, we should not debate with them with the intention of winning, but with the intention of understanding more about the subject. And with people who do not have these qualities, we can get into Jalpa or Vitanda, which in Charaka Samhita is called Vigrihya Sambhasha. In fact, Charaka Samhita says, before getting into Jalpa or Vitanda, you have to first study the other person or even the audience. Here is what is exactly mentioned in Charaka Samhita. Pragevacha jalpat jalpantaram paravarantaram parishad dvisheshanscha samyak pariksheta. Jalpat prageva means before going into the debate. Prag means before, and prageva is giving little more stress to it, meaning before itself. Samyak pariksheta, one must examine properly. Examine what? One must examine jalpantaram paravarantaram parishad visheshan. Jalpantaram refers to jalpakasya visheshyam gunadosho, that is the strengths and weaknesses of the opponent. I will tell about them in this video. Paravarantaram refers to prativadinaha atmanascha pratibhadi vishesham, which means examine the talents and special qualities of the opponents and also the self. And Parishad Vishesha refers to the quality of the audience. All these have to be examined before getting into an argument or debate. Now you may get a doubt as to on what basis should we examine the opponent, oneself and also the audience. Charakacharya has clearly explained that also. He has created 2 categories to examine. First category is the gunas or qualities, good qualities, and second category is the doshas, the faults. And mind you, the gunas and doshas have to be examined in the opponent and also in oneself. Usually what we tend to do is we see the doshas or faults in the opponent and see only the good qualities in us. But Charakacharya says both qualities and faults have to be examined in both the opponent and in oneself. Now let's see what are the gunas. Shrutam Vijnanam Dharanam Pratibhanam Vachana Shaktiriti Etan Gunan Shreyaskaran Ahuhu. Etan Gunan Shreyaskaran Ahuhu means these are told as good qualities. They are Shrutam, meaning what the person has learnt by listening to the Guru. Vijnanam is Visheshataha Jnanam, that is digesting and making the knowledge gained from the Guru more special in his own way. Dharanam is having all the knowledge in the memory. Pratibhanam is bringing out the knowledge stored in the memory at the right time. And Vachana Shakti is speaking abilities, communication skills. Now we shall see the doshas, the faults. Charaka Samhita says, Kopanatvam, Avaisharadyam, Bhirutvam, Adharanatvam, Anavahitatvam. Kopanatvam means getting angry. Anger is an emotion, and when a person is taken over by emotions, then that person will not be able to properly convey his points logically. Then Avaisharadyam means not having proper expertise in the subject. Bhirutvam meaning being scared. Some people will have stage fear. Some will get scared when people cross question them. Adharanatvam is not having good memory. Anavahitatvam, not having good focus, thinking of something else while the discussion is going on. Charaka Samhita further tells how to go on with the examination of the opponent. Tatra trividhaha paraha sampadyate. Pravaraha, pratyavaraha, samova, which means you will get 3 types of opponents. Pravaraha is one who has more gunas, that is plus points, than you. Pratyavara is one who has more doshas than you. And samaha is when both you and the opponent have equal number of gunas and doshas. Why should you do all this analysis? Because in Jalpa and Vitanda, the objective is to defeat the opponent. In order to defeat them, you should first examine them and analyze their strengths and weaknesses. Now you may think, what do we do after studying the strengths and weaknesses of the opponent? Next, Charaka Samhita gives clarity on how to defeat the opponent based on his weakness. It is interesting. Let's see how. Shrutihinam mahata sutrapathena abhibhavet. Shrutihinam means one who has not learnt well. We can make out by listening a little bit when the person speaks whether the person has learnt his subject well or not. If he is not thorough in his subject, then you can defeat him in the debate by telling him long sutras. Those days people used to memorize sutras. Sutras are condensed sentences that are kept in the memory. When expanded, they give a lot of information about that subject. If a person has not studied his subject well, then when a long sutra is recited, he will get confused. Vijnanahinam punaha kashta shabdena vakyena. Vijnanahina is one who has not thoroughly understood the meaning of what he has studied. He might have just memorized the sutras and their meaning. He would not have internalized the meanings. For such a person, use difficult words and confuse him. That way he will be defeated. Vakya dharanahinam avidha dirgha sutra sankulaihi vakya dandakaihi. Vakya dharanahinam is one who does not have a good memory power, one who does not remember well. Some people will be able to do well if they have their notes with them. Without notes, they may struggle. That will be a weak point of the opponent. To defeat such people, use long sentences with difficult words. Pratibhahinam punarvachanena ekavidhena anekartha vachina. Pratibhahina is one who is not very talented. A person might have studied thoroughly a particular subject, but he might not be having that special talent. In case of such a person, use words in one way, but the word should mean something else. In Sanskrit, one word has many meanings. This kind of wordplay used to happen a lot amongst scholars. We can do it now also. Actually, extremely talented people will be able to do it. Vachana shaktihinam ardhoktasya vakyasya akshepanena. Vachana shaktihinam means a person who does not have good speaking skills. He might be knowledgeable, but he does not have good speaking abilities. To defeat such a person, interrupt him in between and oppose his point. Avisharadam apatrapanena. Avisharada here refers to a person who has not been to such debates before. Such a person will be already shy. So if he is slightly embarrassed, that is if he is made to feel that he doesn't know the subject well, then he will stop talking further. Bhirum vitrasanena. Bhiru is a very scared person. Such a person can be defeated by creating fear in him. Anavahitam nichamanena. Anavahita is one who does not have good concentration. Such a person can be defeated by making him think on a particular point. He won't be able to think because he cannot concentrate. Then there are the nigraha sthanas, which are defeat situations. That is, in which situations the opponent will get defeated. If you are interested in knowing about them, then type nigraha sthana in the comments. Actually, there is a whole lot of useful information regarding debating. My intention of bringing this up is mainly to show that there is a wealth of knowledge in Sanskritam even beyond the religious texts. But if many of you are interested in knowing more, then let me know in the comments and I will make few more videos on this. Also, let me know what you think about this particular video. Do you think it's a useful subject? Do you think kids should be trained in these soft skills? Because in any field, these skills will be necessary. Please share your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Also, please do not forget to subscribe if you like my videos. It will help me a lot in growing this channel. अग्रिमे चित्रे मेलितास्मि। नमो नमः।